Okay, so I've decided that the comment section is now going to be a family group chat. Yeah, I've dubbed it the family group chat. So hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Dominique, but I go by Dom, and in today's video, we are going over my 2025 reading goals. Yes. But first off, Happy New Year. Happy New Year, everyone. I hope you guys have had a fantastic start to your new year and that you were able to achieve all of your 2024 reading goals. But even if you didn't, that's okay, because it's a new year and it's time to set new goals. So let's just jump right into it. If you're anything like me, you probably started planning out your 2025 before the new year began. And seeing as I have so much more time on my hands, I have found that it's so easy to fall off track and out of my everyday routine. One thing that I've realized with this extended time off is that I thrive better in more structured environments. Based on how life has been going for me, I wanted to ensure that I was setting realistic and attainable goals for myself this year. I know that life happens and it's not always possible for me to read as much as I would like. Overall, I would like to read 1 book per week, which totals up to 4 books per month and 52 books for the entire year. So the goal is to read 52 books this year. And I know you're probably wondering, you're definitely going to surpass that in this space. Maybe or maybe not. Based on how I've set up my reading for this year and some of the books on my TBR, they are relatively lengthy and more difficult reads for myself. So give or take, we may hit it or we may not. I don't know. But I think that it's an achievable goal if I stick to the parameters that I've set in place for myself. So my first reading goal is to tackle my physical TBR. I feel like everybody sets this goal because it is so necessary. I have so many unread books on my physical TBR. As it stands, I think I have over 100, and that sounds like a lot, but not really, especially if you're a reader and a book buyer. Because let's be honest, we buy books at a faster rate than we actually read them. For those of you who are anything like me, I can't speak for everybody else, but I can speak for myself. One thing I do realize is that I'm not guilty about it. I can't feel guilty about it because I know that I'm gonna get to them. I do read the books on my bookshelf, so I'm not worried about it at all. So yeah, that is one of my goals this year. I have a ton of series on my bookshelf. And I know that everybody was doing, finishing all the series on my TBR last year. So I'll just list off a few of the ones that I need to get to this year and that I intend to finish for sure. Some of them are long-standing. I actually don't even think I'll talk about the long-standing ones in this video because really and truly there's no point. They're books that I'm just going to continue to read as they are released. But for the ones that I know are coming to a definite end, I will talk about right now. So of course we have the Skyland series by Kennedy Ryan, which I am not concerned about in the least. I know that I'm going to finish that series this year, so not worried about it. Then we have the Green Sisters series. Like I mentioned in my previous video, I'm not entirely sure if Christina Forrest has dubbed these books a trilogy, but we have The Neighbor Favor, The Partner Plot, and then of course The Love Lyric. Then I have the Dread Nation duology by Justina Ireland. Yes, that's her name, Justina Ireland. I literally just finished Dread Nation. Did I just call it Dreadful Nation? Dreadful Dead? What did I call it? You know what? It doesn't even matter. I freaking loved that book. And I have book 2 coming in the mail. So definitely going to read that. And I'll talk more about it in future videos. But I have to finish that. I did do some research, and as it stands, there will be no more books in that series. Then of course we have the Legendborn Cycle, obviously by Tracy Deonn. You guys know how I feel about that. Haven't read it yet. I'm gonna get to it this year for sure. Then of course we have the Hunger Games. We have a second prequel with Reaping of the Harvest of the Reaping, something of the Reaping. Lord, I can't remember. Sunrise of the Reaping, Sunrise on the Reaping. You know what? Y'all know what I'm talking about. We just talked about this. So I have that to finish. And I don't think I've ever mentioned this to you guys. I have a problem with ending things, period, in life. I have trouble with ending with ending things or bringing things to full closure sometimes. Uh, a lot of the times, let's be honest. So when it comes to like my favorite series, TV series, I'm like this. I don't want to finish it. Like I'll leave the last episode and not watch it. Hmm. These are series that have been finished or have ended a long time ago, and I just haven't gotten around to finishing them, and this is why. So, with the Hunger Games, as much as I told you guys that I love that series, I never read the prequel, the first prequel, which is the ballads of Songbirds and Snakes. I don't typically care for prequels. And then I got halfway through Mockingjay and I said, I can't finish this. I can't do it. I can't do it. I don't want to know the ending. So yeah. I have to finish that this year. Then we have the Wayward Pines trilogy by Blake Crouch. I have the Loyal League series to finish. I have book 3. I'm about to order book 2 so that I can just finish reading those two. Then I have Arc of the Scythe by Neil. I don't remember his last name. I'll pop it up on the screen. But I've had that series on my TBR for the longest time. So we gotta get to it this year for sure. I have to finish the Maze Runner series. I don't know if I mentioned this. Did you guys know that there was a 5th book? Because I didn't. I thought it ended with the death cure, but apparently James Dashner decided that he was going to come up with a final book and it's called Fever Code. So I'm going to read that so I can complete out the series. I think I started Death Cure and didn't finish. So this is what I mean when I say like I start a series and I'm just like, when I get to the end, it's like, then I have the Mars Rising trilogy that I need to finish. And then I also have the Robopocalypse duology. I kept calling it Robocalypse because it's just easier for me to say that, but I do know that it's called Robopocalypse. But yes, I do need to read Robogenesis. And there's a list of other series that I also need to read. And that leads me into my second goal, which is to read something that would be challenging to me. And that is to finally read Lord of the Rings. You probably seen it in my thumbnail, but I did get the set that I wanted for Christmas. So I'm super, super happy about it. This is so heavy, but this is the Lord of the Rings set that I was talking about in my holiday bookish vlog. So I did get it for Christmas and I'm super, super happy about it. This is the HarperCollins Alan Lee illustrated edition. So yes, for my reading challenge this year, I was having a little difficulty deciding on which way I was going to go. Of course, we've landed on Lord of the Rings, but the other book that I had in mind was The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexander Dumas. I have been wanting to read that book for many, many years. It's over 1,000 pages, and I know that it would be a slow read for me. And that's not the reason why it would be challenging. I mentioned in my first video having a learning disability and not feeling smart enough to read certain books, but I did want to challenge myself in overcoming reading insecurities. So hence why I decided that I was going to go with reading The Lord of the Rings this year. So yes, I'm super, super pumped. I'm not sure when I will start reading this series. I probably should start right at the top of the year because I know that it's probably going to take me the entire year to finish. But it is what it is. This is actually out of sync. Technically, that would be goal number 3. My first goal is obviously to read 1 book per week, totaling 52 books for the entire year. So that is actually goal 1. Then goal 2 is tackling my physical TBR, specifically series. And then goal 3 is, of course, picking a challenge for myself, which is to read the Lord of the Rings trilogy, including The Hobbit. And goal number 4 is more all-encompassing, but it is to be more intentional with my reading this year. I would like to read more books that are in line with my faith. I also would like to read more classics. So for that goal, I was hoping to read 1 like Christian fiction and 1 classic every single month. So that would be 2 of my 4 books for the month. Staying in line with goal number 4, This one I think is the most personal to me, but I would like to read the Bible in its entirety. And honestly, it's like if I have the time to read all of these books, I should have the time to read God's Word. So I went ahead and purchased the 1 year Bible. I have plenty of Bibles, but I do like the layout of this one. It is categorized by date, so you can't, I mean, if you do fall off track, I think it's easier to get back on track with how this is laid out. Most Bibles do have a Bible plan in the back of it, but it's like day 1, day 2, day 3, versus this being January 1st, January 2nd, January 3rd. So it's easier to stay on track. This is a goal that I've had on my list for many years, and I have not been able to achieve it, but we're gonna do it this year for sure. And in line with being more intentional, I went ahead and got myself a planner this year. I have fallen off of actually planning, but because I'm doing YouTube, I do need one in order to plan out content. So I have a notebook that's in my lap right now, and then I got this planner which matches the aesthetic that I'm going for, which is brown and or neutrals. And then I also got a reading journal and some annotating supplies. I was inspired to do this from watching Alana here on YouTube. I don't remember the name of her channel, but I will pop it up. Obviously, you guys know I'm going to pop it up on the screen. But I think she was talking about this journal and she was really impressed with it. So I went ahead and got it. It's a Clever Fox reading journal. You can get these on Amazon and they're not too pricey. So yeah, I'm super excited for my reading journey in 2025. And that is it. I do hope you enjoyed today's video. I'm curious, let me know in the comment section what some of your reading goals are. And even if you're not setting reading goals, what are some of your goals for 2025? Hit me up in the comment section. Okay, so I've decided that the comment section is now going to be a family group chat. Yeah, I've dubbed it the family group chat. So let me know in the family group chat what your goals are for 2025. I so look forward to hearing from you guys. But as always, thank you so much for being here. I greatly appreciate you all so much. And I will catch you in the next one, God willing. Bye.